Hi, beloved people of God. I hope you're doing well. Still Friday, the 10th of July, 2026. Yes, and I am down here at the farm. Of course, one of those steps, one of those measures you have to take as a businessman. And that's actually where my topic is. That in business, we are paid for solving problems, not praising how big or magnifying our problems at the expense of progress to the point of getting stuck, you know. Now, as you already know, we are in the drought period. I have a coffee plantation and a banana plantation right behind me in the far distance. I'll be showing you. And it so happens that when I came down here, it was last Friday around, it was on Monday this very week, 6th of July. I found that yes, I dug a shadoof well at my farm, put a couple of water tanks to reserve the water and so on and so forth to prepare myself for a time such as this. But then, when I came down, I realized that the water we had was actually not enough to take us through this period without affecting my crops to a point of even affecting the harvest, okay? And then I remembered that my land happens to be on a kind of hill, on a slope. I'm going to turn around the camera and show you what I'm talking about. Right at the top of the hill is one of my neighbors. They are rearing chicken, they are building their farmhouse, their country home right there. Their land stops right at that plant that you see, where you see the dry maize. That's where their land stops. And then, right, this is what was behind me. Here where I am standing is my other neighbor now. Between me, up there, if you can see, let me try to zoom in. If you can see those banana plantation, that banana plantation, those bananas right up there, that's actually where my farm is. That's where my land is, right up there. So between, right there where I have shown you, and this other neighbor right here, is this my other neighbor in between. So I remembered that this my neighbor's land is on a flat surface and there is a water stream. Luckily enough, there is a water stream that flows through his land. And this is where ingenuity comes in from. The other lesson that we will be learning from today's video is, of course, maintaining good relations and also people skills, if I may say it that way. So I looked at my plantation and I said, hey, I'm not going to leave my crops to die, the money, the effort that has been invested all this while to just go to waste, really. Because this is where most farmers get affected and give up on the journey and draw a conclusion that these things don't work. There's no money in coffee farming, there's no money in banana plantation, generally there's no money in farming, and so on and so forth. Okay? So when I remembered that, I moved all the way from my land up there, moved through, you can see this, my neighbor is not really utilizing this, his land, moved through the shrubs, the bushes, to come all the way to find the stream. It was a small stream. Right now what you see is some kind of dam, but it was a small stream that flows from the shrubs right there. I can call it bush, that flows from the bush right there. So I thought to myself, how best do I take advantage or use this natural source of water? Luckily enough, on the same day that my neighbor had also come down here for a site visit to his land. He's also, from my example, he has grown some bit of coffee on the upper section of this land, somewhere just right below where my land stops, okay? So I engaged him and said, hey neighbor, look here. How about you are planting coffee, look at my coffee, it's being affected by the sun, and I see you're just starting out your journey, and trust me, we cannot go really far if we do not have a stable water source. How about we take advantage of the stream right there in your land, widen it, and make a rather more stable water source that we can use to water our crops, and then we shall be in business. yeah, we had a conversation. He's a relatively young man like myself, and luckily enough, thank God, he accepted. But then of course, because this is his land, I had to look for money to pay the labor that was to dig this dam that you see right here. This dam wasn't here. It was only a small stream of water right there at the corner flowing from the bush. But then these guys had to now dig all the way wide to that point and all around, as you can see, all this freshly dug clay to form this what? Pond, just to give us this water source. That's money that wasn't in my budget. It's not something that I had thought about earlier, but hey, we had to do it. And then of course, with a water source like this, you need a pump, a petrol engine pump. It could be diesel, I don't know, but mine is a petrol engine pump, the one that you see right there, that I had to acquire. And now we are watering my coffee and my other crops right at the top there in the far distance. And all that is ingenuity, all that is problem solution. But I also mentioned something to do with people skills, okay? If I hadn't done that, maybe the harvests and the calculations I'm hoping to get at some point in time would not be something that I still had hope in if it wasn't for that. But thanks to God, we now have a water source, another alternative water source, because me at my farm, right at the top, I dug a shadow well, but the liters in there are just not enough to take me through this drought period. But thanks be to God that now I have an alternative water source, of course, in my neighbor's land, riding on people's skills and good relations with my neighbor. So we have this water source. This is not my land, but here we are, and we are enjoying this natural source of water, and it's now helping us to irrigate right up there. And yeah, I'm excited. Glory be to Jesus. I hope you learn a lesson there as well that you could apply in any other aspect. It may not necessarily be like my story that I have shared with you, but yeah, I hope you get the message. People skills, ingenuity, or problem solution as a businessman before you can make it on the other side. Other people could have just given up and said, well, I lift my hands up to the heavens where my help comes from. If the rain comes, I'll farm. If the rain doesn't come, I'll not farm. So until next time, may the good Lord bless you. Cheers.